Addiction. Um, why am I making this video? You might be asking, who's this guy? Well, I'm Joe, and I make music, and I also make other content like this, I guess. I uploaded a video recently because of the whole Charlie Kirk situation, and some people watched it, and that reminded me that I really want to keep creating content. And although this is not a curated video, I didn't prepare for this. I was just like, I want to keep making content. You know, I thought it's best to upload something just to keep the momentum of making something. I also I want to upload music again. Man, I wanted to make some music videos, and I've been wanting to do that for so long. And now I'm here talking about addiction. Yeah, I just thought, what topic could I talk about if I do make a video? And since that's a topic that personally affected me, I thought that's a good topic. So I guess, yeah, I'll just share my addiction, share something about how addiction has affected my life and still does. Because I'm still addicted to smoking tobacco. And yeah. Well, so for me, it started pretty early on. I started smoking. Maybe I was in my teens, late teens. I went out with my best friend at the time, with my dad's ID, because you needed ID on there was like a vending machine, tobacco vending machine in our village, and we went there at night with some money and my dad's ID. We bought a pack of cigarettes and we smoked it, and I don't remember how it tasted, how it was, how it felt. I don't remember at all. But I do remember that night going there, getting the tobacco, getting the cigarettes and smoking them. So that's how it started for me. And then later I got into cannabis through school friends, and it was kind of like a drug that, the cool kids, they would do it. And so I got into cannabis and I got pretty hooked. Not immediately, but over time. Because I had struggles in my life, like my father was being sick. He was sick from when I was 9 years old. So had a stroke and didn't really ever recover. So I had struggles that weighed on me, and I guess I I suppose that's probably the reason that I got addicted. Because I mean, you can use all kinds of drugs without necessarily getting addicted, although most illegal drugs have that potential. Um, but obviously, you are more prone to get addicted if you have some pre-existing struggles in your life, because then it becomes a way out of your, you know, depression or your anxiety and your stress. Um, so yeah, I got into cannabis, and that stuck with me for a while. I really only stopped smoking cannabis like, I don't know, maybe 3, 4 years ago. Um, and it just kind of happened because of because of some health issues at the time that caused me to not want to smoke anymore cannabis because it just made me anxious, super anxious, and gave me like panic attacks. So it wasn't really my choice. It wasn't really me quitting the addiction. The addiction quit me. um, so, and I've had cannabis like a couple of times since, and it's been fine. My health got better, so I didn't have the same kind of reaction. Also, although I didn't enjoy it that much, there was once or twice where I enjoyed it after that, um, where I was just listening to music and just being one with the music. If you know cannabis, you know the feeling. You kind of melt into the music, and it's a very, very nice feeling. But yes, I didn't really quit the addiction. The addiction quit me, and then, well, I guess for some reason I don't have that tendency anymore to abuse it. I don't know why that changed. I, I could smoke cannabis today and be fine, and not gonna smoke it much more. Um, so I don't know what changed. I think my mindset changed probably, and well, then there's tobacco, which I'm still addicted to, and I turned 30 this year, and I promised myself to stop when I hit 30, and I tried, and it didn't. It didn't work out. I don't know why. It's just, it's hard, man. I mean, to 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 give myself a break. I mean, tobacco is one of the most addictive drugs out there. If you look at the scientific literature, it's up there with cocaine and heroin and all the very addictive drugs. So, it makes sense that it's hard to quit, but I still want to quit. Um, but, well, there's not really a but. But there's always a but. I'm the but at the end of the joke of my addiction. Yeah, I got into it very early, and when I was smoking cannabis, I always, you know, used it in combination with tobacco. So I was always smoking tobacco. And yeah, so you smoke cannabis, as you might know or not know, but you smoke cannabis through a bong, a water pipe. And so after I quit cannabis, I didn't go back to cigarettes. I was always mixing the two. So I was mixing tobacco and cannabis in a water pipe. And so that stuck with me, smoking just the pure tobacco through a water pipe. And that's a much, much more intense feeling than smoking it through a cigarette. So that might be even harder to quit because it's a way more intense feeling. So yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. I could stop the video here. That's my story. It's ongoing. Um, I still want to quit. I just I'm not sure how. I mean, I feel like that's a stupid thing to say because I mean, just quit. Just don't do it. That's a simple answer. The complex answer is very complicated because, you're addicted. Your brain craves it, and you need the discipline to resist that craving if you want to quit. And I feel like that's the real challenge, and that's the toughest thing for me, even when it comes to not even discipline uh, in terms of quitting my addiction, but discipline in general is something that has always been a weakness of mine, and I don't know where that started. I suspect that, my father being sick when I was very young, um, and not really being able to be there for me as a guide probably has something to do with it. And I would always outsmart my mom when it came to anything. We had a computer in a room in our house, and I went there to play video games. And when that came out of hand, my mom started locking that room. So naturally, I figured out a way to break into the room. I just used some tools to like break the lock. Not break it, but open the lock. I don't know the names of the specific tools, but it was just a thing that goes like this. I could look it up what it's called, but and then at the end I used a fucking what do you call it? A claw? No, eine Zange. I'm German, obviously. But yeah, I found a way to get in there, and then she put a thing in the keyhole, like a product that you use to put in the keyhole. That the product itself has a very small key in order to remove it, but you put it in there so someone can't open the lock. But somehow I found a way around that too. So yeah. So my mom didn't really know what to do with me and how to give me discipline, I guess. So that might have something to do with it. And my mom also was working constantly because we had the house, right? And the house needed to be paid off. And my dad, after the stroke, he wasn't able to work anymore after that. So my mom had to pay off that. So of course she had to work. And also she loves her job. She's a scientist. So yeah, maybe it's related to my dad not being there and my mom being overwhelmed. And also in school, my teachers, I think they didn't really know what to do with me because I don't want to brag, but I was pretty fucking smart. I mean, at least I was smart enough to, so I didn't have to really, do homework and all that in order to get by. I could just, I listened in class and I'd be fine. And I never had the discipline, anyways, to do homework. And I tried for some years to every new school year. I said to myself, this year I'm gonna turn it around. This year I'm gonna turn things around, and I'll be a good student and whatever. But I didn't have what it takes. I didn't have the discipline. So yeah, that's the thing I've always struggled with, self-discipline, and I still struggle with it. I want to say that I got better over the years, but it's still a tough thing for me. Obviously, because otherwise, if I had tons of self-discipline, it'd probably be easy to quit smoking. Probably would still be a challenge just by the nature of tobacco being a very addictive drug, but I'd probably be able to pull it off much more easily. So yeah, self-discipline, I struggle with that, and that makes it pretty hard to quit. Also makes a lot of other things pretty hard, like you know, keeping having a fucking routine. I mean, I got diagnosed with ADHD when I was a child, and although for the most time in my life, I always thought that ADHD is just bullshit. Because I mean, what you you your attention wanders and you can't sit still. I mean, you're a fucking child, of course, but there's definitely something to it. I think for sure, because as I've grown into an adult, um, I still see the difference in other people and how they manage to go through life and myself in comparison to myself. And I definitely feel like there's a difference there. Although that might be also caused by other factors, um, like a lack of self-discipline. Yeah, so I think that's it, pretty much. I just wanted to talk about addiction. I just wanted to put something out there because I wanna have my voice heard, I guess. And I mean, ultimately, I would really like to do a podcast, and I have plans for that. But I want it to be nice. I want it to be a video podcast, and I want a nice set, a nice setting. And I have a place for that, but there's a lot of stuff in there, so I would have to move a lot of stuff out, and then I would have to get a lot of stuff to put in there to make a nice set. So that's going to be a lot of work. But eventually, ultimately, I really want to do a podcast, and not just myself. Of course, I want to have people on there and talk to people and exchange ideas and talk about interesting stuff, stuff that really matters, and really go deeply into topics. And yeah, that's a dream. And of course, I also want to put out more music, because that's also always been a dream of mine to just make it in music, have an impact. Not just, make music and get rich or something. Although that was definitely a part at some point in my thought process, but my main motivation has always been I want to make music to change people's lives and to resonate with people, and to maybe put a different perspective out there, or put perspectives out there through music that that moves people, that people can relate to, something that can help people in their life. If they listen to it, it helps them in some way. Yeah. And but I also really want to stop smoking. I mean, I really want to stop smoking, because I know, it would only be beneficial to me. Like, yes, I would have to learn how to cope with stress, because tobacco is really good at flushing your stress down the fucking drain. You just smoke, and it's so, yeah. I would have to learn how to cope with stress and with emotions, and I'm okay feeling uncomfortable. I have a pretty decent tolerance level for discomfort, but also I love being in my comfort zone. So, while I have a pretty high tolerance for discomfort, it's not really about quantity, it's more about quality. Other way around. It's not about quality, it's more about quantity. So I can be in very uncomfortable situations, and I'm fine with it. But if I would have that for a long time, if I would have many uncomfortable situations or just be in discomfort for extended periods of time, I can do it, but I need my rest. And that's the comfort zone. That's where you go to rest, right? I mean, although I think my comfort zone is not very healthy, because my comfort zone mostly is sitting on the computer and watching YouTube or some shit like that. So that's another addiction. Not really an addiction. I can be fine without watching fucking YouTube. But if I do go on YouTube, you know, it's hard to get off of there. It's, I mean, once you click that first short, once you go from videos to shorts, you're doomed. You're fucked, bro. You're just gonna be sitting there for hours, and then you look at the clock and you're like, fuck, I have work tomorrow. I should have gone to bed. Yeah. So anyways, that's where I'm at right now. That's a little bit of the story of my life when it comes to addiction. And I really just wanted to put something out there. Really just to do it, to stay active, to keep, to upload something, to do something, instead of sit here and do nothing. So I think I'll leave it at that. And I hope you have a wonderful day, whoever you might be, dear viewer. And always remember, life's short. So whatever you're hesitating on, just do it. Grab life and just hold on to it and go with it. Go with the flow. And really try to... I feel so weird saying all of this because this could be something that I need to hear. So I feel like, who am I to tell you to go live life if I struggle myself? But, I think maybe that makes it even more relatable. Because, we all struggle in our different ways. And still, it's just important to keep going, I think. Just keep at it and, follow your dreams. And be kind. I think maybe that's the most important thing. Be kind. And yeah, be kind to yourself too, not just to others. All right. I'll see you.